drum roll please, Ask Susan on Congruent Living for Seekers and Creatives every Sunday. Susan Lazar Hart here, the Congruency Coach for creatives and seekers looking for a more joy-filled and fulfilling life. Hey, welcome, 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 Maureen. Let's tag a friend, tell them to get on in here. It's a juicy one today, something that people have been asking me about. How do I define what I do, right? Hey, Miriam, welcome, welcome. Hey, Rohini, welcome, welcome. Tell us where you're from. We have an international community here. When was the last time somebody asked you to define what you do? Or is it something that you're asking of yourself, right? A lot of us from many years ago, hey, Miriam, welcome. We're asked, well, what's your purpose? What's your purpose, right? Can you define your purpose? And all the Uber creators, hashtag Uber creator right here, right now, right? Raise your hands. Well, on Mondays I like to do this, and on Tuesdays I like to do that, and oh yeah, I've got lots of hearts, right? And I like to be out of definition, but the thing is, it's not about finding your purpose. It's about how do you define what you do? You know, if you're in the business of living, right? If you're in the business of creation, if you're in the business of getting your message out. You know, a lot of people on Congruent Living, hi Florence, are in business for themselves. There's so many ways that we get asked, well, what do you do? You know, I remember years and years and years ago, I was at this big ball in England, and nobody actually at my table was really interested in me. They were talking about horses, and they were talking about all kinds of other things that here I was, a new mom making chocolate chip cookies, and somebody turned to me and said, so Susan, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I raise my kids and make great chocolate chip cookies, and I'm a painter, and I also, and by that time their attention was somewhere else, right? I'm just gonna shut this overhead light up. So has that ever happened to you? Have you ever kind of stuttered over what you do? Because we do so many things. And here's what I found to be true. It's about listening to what's being asked of you, right? What is this person requiring to hear? Now, the person I just talked about was not interested in me at all anyway. They were being polite because everybody else was talking to each other, and I was like, well, this is fun. Generally, when that occurs for me, I just actually get up and leave and walk around and introduce myself to somebody who I think might be interesting. But in any case, what is it that trips you over in defining what you do and how you be? And are you willing to ask yourself from your heart? You know, again, one of the things I've become aware of, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer to me who I be, what I came here to be and do, and in the business of coaching, in the business of creation, what is it that people actually require to hear, right? And what does that look like? Questions, anything popping for people? I just saw a heart and a thumbs up. Yeah. So if this is where you're at, come in with your questions, because it's a very deep topic in the sense of how many of you have decided you had to lose yourself in order to define who you be and what you be? Because it's not about defining who you be and what you be. It's when somebody asks me or you, so what do you do? And what is it, the information that you would like to impart of them, on them, and with them, right? And if you speak from your heart, if you actually sit down with yourself and write down, so what is it that I'd like people to hear about what I do and how I be, right? What is it I'd like people to hear in order for them to choose me for my business, for my relationships, for whatever that is, right? Tammy says, hello, all you beautiful beings. Hi, Tammy. Are we in the right lane? Let me see some thumbs up and hearts, just so I know we're not really off center. We're right in the lane where people are asking questions about, because these questions came in to me from my clients, from you. You know, I love hearing from you. Hey, Miriam, replying to Tammy, hello. I love it. Everybody come on in the conversation. It's a great idea to start with, says Rohini. Yep, absolutely. And the thing is, where wherever you define yourself, are you using the definition of what you do as a way to defend what you do? Right? Good question. Right? Or are you speaking from your heart with no expectation? Oh, I got lots of hearts and thumbs up. Yeah. With no expectation. With yeah, this is what I do. Right? I work with people who are asking for more. That's me personally. I was once stopped by a policeman on the highway, and I was listening to some tapes, some motivational tapes, and I was just in a really good place, unfortunately going 90 miles an hour. He pulled me over and he said, "Did you realize how fast you were going?" I'm like, "No." As I opened the window, he just kind of caught a sense of the energies and the vibrations I was playing with. And he said, "What do you do for a living?" And I said, "Oh, I shift and change people's lives." He's like, "Oh." And then he asked me some more questions about what I was doing. And he gave me a ticket for, a minimal ticket, right, for not stopping at a stop sign in a small town that he was connected with, rather than a huge ticket for speeding down the highway. So can you change and shift people's lives when you're willing to be present with what it is that you do and be? Oh, we've got a lot of, okay. Hi, Alvina. Rohini says, "I don't like to define myself. That would limit me." Okay, cool. We're going to touch on that in a minute. Hi, Janie. Good question about defending what you do. Thanks, Janie, for popping in. Rohini. Okay, so let's play with this for a minute, Rohini. I don't like to define myself because that would limit me. Well, spoiler alert, you're limitless. You have no limits. It's really about being present with what somebody requires to hear. Right? So I wrote in my newsletter a little bit about me this past week, where I met up with a gardener walking down the street, and I started to acknowledge the brilliance of her garden in such a way that she turned around and she said, "What do you do?" Right? And without blinking, I said, "Oh, I'm an intuitive coach." And that was what intrigued her. Right? I didn't say I'm a congruency coach. I said I'm an intuitive coach. Right? Who works with congruency. And then she asked me, what is congruency? Right? So it's not limiting me. It's, what is it that somebody requires to hear? You know, when I was traveling, for about, a lot of you know that, for about 10 to 12 years, I was traveling with Right Relationship for You, with energetic body work. And so depending on the energies of the person sitting next to me in the plane, when they asked me, what do you do? Either I would talk about Right Relationship for You, or I would talk about congruent coaching, or I would talk about energetic body work, right? What can they receive with ease? Because you don't want to work too hard. But by the way, sidebar, talking about what you do is not about you working hard, right? Because there's someone out there for everything, for every vibration that you create. You know, we've talked before about how every word has a vibration. Yeah. So if you're willing to be in the kindness of you and how you speak about you and what you're asking to create, with no expectation of how this person receives it. Because that's also, Rohini, could that also be what you've decided you don't want to limit? So if we're used to describing what we do and how we create or who we create with, or, yeah, this is what I came here to do, or I've always been this, right? Hi, Umesh. Are you reacting against someone else trying to limit you, right? Yeah, hi. Because the thing is, we're infinite beings, right? That when somebody asks you, can you tell me what you do? And you're willing to tap into what they can receive, you're also all of these other things. These are all the beingnesses. I'm also a nana, a mom, a wife. I love to cook. I love to go on adventures. I'm pretty fearless. I have lots of courage. I've been told that by many people and myself. I'm aware that, you know, when I get a sense of something, I focus. Right? That they're not necessarily interested in all of that. They didn't ask for my whole life story. I also sew, I paint, I garden, I drink. So what's your target when somebody asks you, what do you do? What is your target? Right? That's a great question to ask. Okay, I'm just going to tap in here. There's lots and lots and lots of Miriam says awesome. Sharon says hi. Alvina says hi. Hi, Umesh. Alvina, it's like being water and becoming what you need to be based on the container. You got it, Alvina. And also sometimes as it's the opposite, where we become the container so that people can pour themselves and feel safe knowing that you will hold space. I love that, Alvina. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Rohini says, awesome. Yeah. And it's, for me, it's not about holding space for anybody. That's not my job. My job is to be the space, should they choose it. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. I love that. Thank you so much. Yay. Any questions? Anything popping for people? Anywhere that you and thank you so much for Rohini and Alvina for your comments. Anywhere that you've stuck yourself with having to define what you do, rather than being present with what does this 10 seconds require of me? Right? What's my target? Right? What's your target? When somebody asks you, what do you do? Are you including you in there? Right? So how many of you tell people what you do and actually exclude you? You don't include you, you don't include your body. You're like, I do this, blah, 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 blah. Right? And then sit and wait for the reaction. Okay? Where are you in all of that? Right? Where are you in there? It's about you being present. Because the thing is, when somebody asks, what do you do? Right? I walk with peace on the planet. Right? So everywhere you bought that, what you do has to be a business. Again, you're in the business of life and living, right? Your exchange are vibrational, energetic currencies. Yeah. So, what are you doing today? I'm taking this day for me. What does that look like? I don't know yet. I just recently wrote in my calendar that Fridays are for my home, right? Fridays are for home and adventure. And it felt so light on Friday saying, oh, Fridays are for home and adventure. So is there anything my house is asking me? Oh yeah, we require a desk for Ricky. Get him off the dining room table because he's been home for 6 months. Okay, he's not allowed in the office yet. Okay, cool. So talking to my living room, what do you require? Oh, can we move this furniture here? Okay. And then I just followed my nose to a furniture place, and there was the perfect desk. Cool. And that's like, thank you, universe. Once I committed to what am I doing on Fridays, I'm listening to my home. Then the universe just like send it in. Okay, let's match that vibration. Let's match those energies. Hey, Judy, welcome, welcome. Rohini says, yes, I get lost in the explanation. Awesome. Here's a tip that I can give you, Rohini, is if you're in business, if you're in anything, write down your name, reach out to whoever that is, who's asking for whatever that is. Right? Like that could be in business. If you have a dress store, I reach out to men or women of a certain age or size who are asking to feel delicious about themselves. And get it down to one sentence and play with it. So that, like I just said that, my body turned on, right? Let me know if that helps you, Rohini and everybody else that's listening. Hey, Miriam, I found it weird to define myself because I'm a carrier and also a healer. Again, Miriam, I don't know if you came in at the top. It's about talking to what people can hear. The person who asks you, what do you do? What are they asking for? And what's your target? Right? Is your target to involve them in your business? Is your target to create a new friend? Is your target what is your target? Right? What is your target? So when you're willing to actually focus, get a sense of yourself. You know what somebody requires. Right? So when I was crossing the borders a lot, the people at the border would say, "What do you do?" And I'd say, "Oh, I'm an energetic body healer." What's that? So I would get in a conversation with people at the borders, and they weren't actually interested in what was in my suitcase, what I was doing. It's like, what's your target? Put yourself in there, right? And how much fun can you have? when you tell somebody what you do. Miriam, let me know if that assists you. Rahini, I'm into access and bars particularly. That tip is magic. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, it's really about being with you. Nobody teaches this, right? It's like, oh, you're an infinite being. Do this and this and this and this and that and this. What is that person asking to hear? What's your target? Is your target the fastest place to cash, right? What does this person need to hear to hire you, or to come to your bars class, or whatever that is? Right? What is your target? Is your target to create a foundation for your practice? Right? So what invitation can you be? What invitation are you willing to be? So instead of just coming right out, be present. You know, it's like, let a beat or two, like, oh, somebody asked me a question. Oh, okay, now I know where I'm going. Right? Yeah. How many of us answer somebody's question because we want to make them feel good? Well, where are you in there, right? Where are you in there? And again, it's about, you know, when I work with clients, as I work with clients with congruent living coaching, I'll ask them to go out 6 months and then chunk it down. And what's one sentence that we could work with today that would actually get you where you'd like to go right away, right? Could be physically, it could be energetically, it could be spiritually, wherever that is. You have to be willing to be present. And sometimes that's slowing things down so you can speed things up. And when I say slowing things down, I mean being present. Some people assume being present is slowing things down. I don't have a point of view about the words. Sonali, what is your target? And then followed by what fun way to share how I am doing that. Absolutely, you got it, baby. That's it. Because if it's not fun for you, it's not joyous for you, nobody's going to actually be attracted to the vibration of what and how you're creating, if that's your target, right? Some people have a target to push people away. No, I have no point of view. That's why I love Ask Susan, because it's, okay, what is it that you're asking to create? And how can we create that in the most fun possible, right? Yeah, cool, cool, cool. Any other questions? Anything else that's popping for people? If you're coming in later, press hashtag reply. No, replay. Or reply. Also, I'd love to hear from you. So write your comments in. I check in every day, and if you want to private message me, do so. If you have something you want to say that's more personal, private, you don't want other people to read, private message me. Come on over to Congruent Living Coaching. Book in a call with me. Let's see what we can create together. What is it that is not ease for you? What you're hearing now is possibly a capacity that I have that I can share with you. I'd love to do that. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, I got lots of hearts and thumbs up. So anything else on this in this conversation? Again, if you're new to Ask Susan, it's a conversation, not a dialogue or a monologue. It's a place where people pop in with their comments or questions. Hello from Denmark, Gita. Hi, I loved your pictures, Gita. They looked really terrific. Looked like you were having a beautiful time. Because I do check in on everybody. Because I love you guys. I'm so grateful for you showing up, and I am totally interested in what you're doing and how you're creating. So I scan your Facebooks and see who's doing what and how and when and where. That's the joy for me of being alive, right? Yeah, checking in. All right. If there are no more questions, Gita says thank you. I will love you and leave you. Take some time for you today and ask yourself, if you're just listening, go back in where we ask, you put your name, what you're asking to create, and who you're asking to create it for, right? So for myself, it's I, Susan Lazar Hart, am creating congruent living coaching for seekers and creatives asking for more in their life, more in their living, more in their relationships. That's it. How does it get any juicier than that? Hey, Daniel, thank you. Appreciate you very much. You too, Daniel, and thank you for the pictures of you and your rooster. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. All right, my darlings. Rohini, thank you so much. We'll get down to your valuable tip. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If you haven't checked it out yet, the Congruent Living Assessment is on my homepage, and I'd love to have you take it and let me know what works for you. Sonali, Put your name, what are you asking to create, and who you're asking to create for. Absolutely, you got it, baby. You got it. So now it says thank you. Oh, Uma says thank you. I love the thank yous. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. All right, don't forget, let me know. Thank you, Miriam says, let me know how it goes. Write in your comments. Let me have some feedback, right? If you love this, share it with a friend, right? Invite people to come in to Ask Susan, to Congruent Living. The more, the merrier. So it's Congruent Living is the Facebook, and Ask Susan is how we play on Sunday. And by the way, next Sunday, oh my God, before I forget, I'm having a party. We won't be having an Ask Susan live next Sunday. We'll be having a Congruent co-creation party on Zoom. I'll get the link into you tomorrow on Monday. We're just kind of, you know, as an Uber creator, I throw everything at my VA, and she always comes up with something special for me to give to you. So we'll have it here on Monday. Look for in your emails as well. I'm going to ask you to sign up for the Zoom so that you get the link, and we're all ready to go. It's next Sunday. There will not be an Ask Susan Sunday Live. There will be a special Zoom party, right, where we're going to be talking about creations, co-creations, and any questions that you have. And I'll be, you know, as always, coming in with a few questions, a few tools, and we're going to just play and see what we can create together. It's time for a party, don't you think? I think so. Yeah. All right. I adore you. And look on Monday for your link to the Congruent Living Party. I'm going to ask you to register so we know how many people are coming, and so we also prevent hackers from coming in, right? That's the easiest thing for me. And I get to see you. If you don't want to be seen, you don't have to show me your screen. I promise. I promise. Sharon Wick, just in time for my birthday on next Sunday. Woohoo! Yay! Happy birthday to you. All right, my darlings, live boldly, love greatly, and be that fearless leader you came here to be, right? Fearless leader includes them, their being, their inner being, and their body in everything they be and do. I wonder what that could be like for you this week. Give it a try and let me know what happens. All right. Mwah. Bye-bye.